If you appreciate watches that balance thoughtful design with real-world functionality, the Cadola Slipstream Mecha Quartz is worth a closer look. It pairs the snap and feel of mechanical chronograph with the reliability of quartz, creating something that's both engaging and practical on the wrist. The 41mm steel case wears comfortably, while the dial stays clean, legible, and purpose-driven. No excess, just clarity. With its motorsport leanings, solid build, and versatile color options, it's a chronograph you can wear daily without overthinking it. At $220, the Slipstream delivers a lot of watch for the money in all the right ways. To learn more about the Slipstream Mecha Quartz, visit Cadola1946.com. That is CADOLA 1946.com. Now, back to the episode.
Hello and welcome to the Worn and Wound podcast. My name is Zach Kazan. I'm the editorial director at Worn and Wound. Joined today by Kat Shoulders. Kat, how's it going?
I'm a little bit tired.
A little bit tired. I'm also a little bit tired. It is it's Cinco de Mayo. It's the day after we all got back from Windup. Day after a long travel day, after a long Windup weekend in San Francisco. And listen, that's what we're going to be talking about today, because I don't think I can. It's all fresh in my mind, so it's the only thing that makes sense to talk about on the podcast.
I'm excited
today. Yeah, no, we're gonna. I generated like a quick list of like rapid fire questions, just to kind of like, get us through sort of like the high points of our weekend in San Francisco related to Windup. So we'll get to those momentarily, but first, as we always do, it's wrist check time. What are you wearing today, Kat?
I am wearing the Brew Metric shot timers. This is one that has like the digital
there you go,
espresso timer on it, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. Do you own that watch, or is that?
I do own this watch.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love it when you pull out a watch that you own that I had no idea about.
Yeah. I love this piece.
Fun.
I did a really cool photo shoot. Maybe it was earlier this year or late last year with a DeLorean and this watch, which was really cool because I've never seen a DeLorean up close and got to sit in it. And it was fun. But this watch, I really, really hope that Brew does a full digital watch at some point. Like, I think this case is really cool. And I would love to see that from them. I would buy it in a heartbeat. So,
it seems kind of like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
Like, Brew, obviously is a, they're an enthusiast-focused brand that I think that like they draw a lot of their like design language from sort of like, 70s, 80s, design. So like that's sort of like digital watches from that era,
full digital.
Seem like, it seems like would be a slam dunk.
I love the 30-second. I don't make espressos, but I love the 30-second countdown timer on this, and or just having like a timer function in general to do anything with. But I would buy a full digital Brew, in a heartbeat.
Well,
easy.
Jonathan, if you're listening, Kat will buy your full digital Brew. Maybe you can use that 30-second timer for some of these rapid fire questions. 30-second timer.
I doubt I can get 30 seconds. But we should do that at some point, though.
Yeah,
sure.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
good social content.
That's a good idea. I'm wearing a watch I have in for review. It's the Tissot Visodate. The new Tissot Visodate. They recently sort of like revamped the line. I'm writing about this for the website. We'll do a video on it. Visodate is a pretty important like enthusiast watch, I think. Like when I was coming up, this was a watch that was like constantly recommended on the forums.
Yep.
It was like a go-to piece. This watch is like very different from the watch I remember from like 10 years or so ago.
Yeah. Did you ever own a Visodate?
I never did. Did you?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did, meaning no longer.
No longer. But it was
out.
It was one of the watches that sort of, early days of collecting really hooked me in, and was widely talked about. Yeah, on Facebook groups and forums at the time. And I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it once you get a little bit more wrist time.
Yeah, I think the Visodate deserves a little bit more little bit more attention. It's an important watch. I kind of put it in the same category as like Seiko Alpinist and watches like that were kind of like not, there are obviously like many dive watches and like true sports watches that were like enthusiast forum darlings of that period. The Bambino, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
And there's this whole crop of like non-diver, like sporty watch that is, kind of like, like in a category unto itself, and the Viso data I think sometimes gets a little forgotten.
It does.
And I don't know that this new one is going to necessarily like make people remember it necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's interesting in its own right. I'll have more to say soon on the Viso Day.
Cool.
All right, Kat, before we get to the rapid fire questions, just like, we're fresh off of San Francisco. Overall impressions of the show.
Oh my
San
gosh.
Francisco.
This was like, this was one for the books. Again, I don't know what the final count of people coming through the door is, but it certainly felt, in my opinion, like the busiest San Francisco show we've had. I felt like the halls were completely full, especially Saturday. It was absolutely mayhem in there, in a good way, in a great way. And I had friends that had come by, and some that had come all 3 days, and I didn't see them to the end of day 3 just by like happenstance. And I can't believe that people were there that I knew all day and we never saw each other. Like that's how busy it was. So it was an incredible show. I think I speak for a lot of people on the team, maybe yourself included, that San Francisco is like one of our favorite shows that we do.
100%.
The weather's always beautiful. It's just a gorgeous location, and the venue is incredible itself and fun to be at. But this is like, it was a great way to like kick off spring, I think. Me.
Yeah.
I think it's a totally different vibe than Watches and Wonders, which we were just at a few weeks ago.
Very different vibe. I kind of like that the San Francisco show happens right after Watches and Wonders, because it's a really good reminder of like kind of what our like real like wheelhouse is. Like I love Watches and Wonders. Like Watches and Wonders is a great week, but it's like it's sort of like an alternate reality.
Yeah.
In some ways. And like Windup feels like very real, and it just kind of just feels
grounded.
Sort of I think that's a good way to put it. So I thought it was a great show. I'm right there with you. I love San Francisco. It's just like a beautiful city. The venue in San Francisco that we have is just like unmatched. It's just like it's so
Fort Mason.
Fort Mason's great. Amazing light, perfect for a watch event, right on the bay, Golden Gate views. I mean, we've said it all before, but it's just it's really good. It's like honestly, like we have windups all over the country now, obviously. So like you're like relatively close to one, regardless of like where you live, or closer than you were, a few years ago. Now that we have 4, but like San Francisco's like worth the trip, I think. Like even if you like live on the 100%. Other side of the country, like if you live in New York and you have access to the New York windup, it's still worth it to like probably go to like travel to San Francisco. It's just a totally different vibe. It's a great show.
There's a lot of SF based brands in attendance, which is cool to see. It's an incredible city and incredible people too. Had a great time.
We had some good activations this year. You made it to the Vault event. I really wish I could have made it. Just like the timing didn't work out. I didn't realize it was so far away from the venue.
I didn't either. It was like a 50-minute drive out there. I will say it was much faster. Obviously, came back sort of late, and we got back to our hotel within like 30 minutes. But during the day with traffic, it took a while to get over there. But
I heard there were some good cars and good
really fun cars, great people. Met a lot of I would say like new audience members to Worn and Wound too there, and great conversation. And I think something that we're gonna likely revisit next year, and maybe bring those guys to us at the fair somehow. So keep your eyes peeled.
That'd be super fun.
Wait, I have an important question before we start.
I have an important answer.
Did you
question.
see Chonkers? Did you see Chonkers?
Didn't see Chonkers. Either. A group of us went to the went to the pier. It's Pier 39, kind of like a tourist destination in the Fisherman's Wharf, where Chonkers is known to hang out.
Yeah,
we went looking for Chonkers on, was it Sunday? I guess it was Sunday morning, but before the show, and no sign of Chonkers.
Bummer.
Chonkers. At first, I got there, and like I've done this before. Like I've seen the sea lions. Is that
are they
seals?
Yeah, they might be sea lions. Yeah.
Apologies for any sea lion enthusiasts out there who if I've mischaracterized the species of these majestic creatures, but I've seen them before. So I kind of like knew what I was expecting, and I sort of thought like, how will I identify chonkers? And then like I looked at some videos of chonkers, and chonkers is like 3 times the size of the average, sea lion at Fisherman's Wharf. He's just like a massive creature. So we would have spotted him, I think, had he been there.
He's probably eating. He's probably
fishing. An animal of that size needs to be constantly on the hunt for protein. I think
maybe next time we'll see him.
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, or he might just move along somewhere else. I don't. So my understanding is he's not. That's not his local habitat. Like he's a
he's a drifter
from northern waters, I think, is what I was told. So he might be moving along. At some point, but chonkers, if you're out there, you think chonkers listen to the pod? I don't think. Maybe that's what he was doing. He was just catching up on podcasts on Sunday morning. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. For sure.
Anyway, no chonkers.
Yeah, I was actually bummed this year that I usually, I take a day or two after the fair to stay in the area and do some fun stuff, but unfortunately I had to get back to work, as you did too.
Reality.
So I had to come back pretty swiftly this time around.
Yeah, that's okay. You get in, you get out, you move on to the next thing. Chicago, right around the corner.
Chicago.
Yeah, get ready.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Maybe chonkers will be there on the shores of Lake Michigan.
That would be something.
Just hanging out.
Be something.
Yeah, that would be a sight that'd be great. All right, Kat. So I've got several rapid fire questions. Maybe not like super rapid fire, but I try to come up with questions that sort of like would collectively sort of like summarize the show. This is like a different way to sort of like wrap up San Francisco. So the first question I have for you that we can both take a stab at: what was your favorite of the new Christopher Ward Sealander releases? This was, I think, probably the most notable new release, like at Windup. Big release for Christopher Ward, updating the Sealander line with a whole bunch of new references. There were time and date models, the Sealander Automatic, and GMT models in multiple sizes, multiple colorways. Yeah. Did you have a favorite?
I did. So I will say, like, I guess maybe you and me both are pretty lucky that we can see the watches before the show opens, because let me tell you, that booth was so busy all weekend.
Yes.
I went several times to take some photos, and they were like 3 rows of people deep just trying to get to their booth. So there would have been it would have been really hard to see them. But
for sure.
I got to go hands-on with them. And I will say I think my favorite is the Pistachio 39 3-hander.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that color. I think it's underutilized color, and obviously, I think Rolex brought it out last year, I want to say, at Watches and Wonders with an OP. And I'm glad to see that color being used more. It's beautiful. So that was a favorite. And just secondary favorite, pink, because I think pink is really hard to get right, in my opinion. And this pink is like a perfect pink that they use. So
perfect pink.
Those
there
two.
You go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the pistachio is the winner. Clearly, I thought you might say that. That was also sort of my response. They just nailed the color. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
My backup response is just like anything in that 36 millimeter size. I think like the way that they kind of like subtly rework the cases on all of these watches, and like the 36, 39, and 41 millimeter watches are like, they're not the same case. They're all kind of like just a little bit different from one another. And like, I don't know, something about that 36 millimeter case, just like it really works on the wrist. There's a white 36 millimeter Sealander Automatic that I went back to a couple of times. It's really, really very good. Also, shout out to the new bracelet adjustment system, which is just really clever. Push button toolless adjustment that allows you to add and remove links very, very easily. This is, we should point out, like, not a completely new idea. Like, there are other brands that do this. Cartier does this. IWC has done this. But like, those are like higher end, luxury brands with luxury price tags. I can't think of another brand in Christopher Ward's price category that has a system quite like this. If I'm missing one, obviously someone please correct me. But I mean, these watches they started around $1,100 and go up to about $1,700 for the GMTs in the larger sizes on the bracelets. So, pretty compelling price point for bracelet tech like that.
Yeah, to be able to change without using any tools whatsoever is incredibly nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, they did a really nice job with those. The Sealander is not like my preferred flavor of Christopher Ward. I love my Belcanto. I love my Loco. I love when they really push the envelope and do something, in that sort of affordable haute horology, category. But the Sealander is their top selling watch. It's the bread and butter. It's the watch that kind of allows them, I think, to experiment at the higher end, when they, sell so many of these things.
Definitely.
So
they did have a new Belcanto color that is,
they did,
the name is escaping me now, but it's sort of fiery red orange colorway that was really pretty and beautiful.
Yep, they released that at the show, limited edition, I think, of 150 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of like Golden Gate Bridge hues of red.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if that was intentional on the part of the team, but it just worked out. So great. Great showing as always from Christopher Ward, and like you said, their booth is always just so slammed. Mike Pearson has a great team there. Brought in help from the New York studio and the Dallas studio, I believe, for this event. So shout out to them. They're on their feet and engaging with people for literally nonstop from the moment the show opens until it ends. So really good stuff. All right, favorite first time wind-up brand, and we can say first time San Francisco wind-up brand as well. Not necessarily, you don't have to limit it to first time at wind-up. Do you have one that stuck out?
I was actually, I'm glad you said that, because I was having a hard time looking at the list and deciphering who was their first time at a show period versus who this was their first time just being in San Francisco. Some that stood out to me: Nick Mankey Designs, the strap maker. I thought those straps were incredibly cool. I think Garrett might have picked one up, if I remember right, up there, a custom strap that I think he literally made for him one night after hours, which was cool. And I got to call out Zach Weiss or Aurea. First time at a fair ever. I didn't even see Zach that much this whole show because he was really busy talking to people, which is great.
Yeah, every time I walked by the Aurea booth, people were there chatting with Zach. So that was great. It was really, really nice to see that. And I did have a chance to chat with him briefly. He said people were really excited about the watches. He sold a few, at least,
That's awesome.
That's a great wind-up debut for sure.
Definitely. And then I believe this was Celeste's first time at the Windup Fair San Francisco, which is her home turf. So it was really cool to see her watches there. And from what I gathered, her booth was quite busy all weekend too, which is great.
Yep. No, she always great to see Celeste. We did a little video with her where she kind of went through some of the, why her watches are special from a craft perspective, and she really kind of went into a lot of detail. We're excited to get that pushed out to our YouTube channel soon. She's wonderful and just has such a cool perspective.
Super sweet.
The watches are great. You mentioned some of them. I want to give a shout out to Vostok Europe. I saw them on the last day of the show. So Vostok Europe is not Vostok, the Russian watchmaker. These are
I learned this.
This brand is based in Lithuania, I believe. The watches are very different from Russian Vostok. They are huge. They comically large watches, and they're just really fun. I mean, they sort of they're like Invictas, but more tasteful. They have a perspective.
Yeah.
The line that I tried on, I forget the name of it. We can put it in the show notes, but they're inspired by elements, on the periodic table of the elements.
Oh, that's cool.
The orange one, the bright orange is inspired by neon, and then it has information on neon and on the case back. It's just fun. It's fun, and it's enormous. Cool. It's just it's impossibly huge. You look at them on the table and you're just how am I going to get this on my wrist? But somehow it works. I also want to give a shout out to East Stolman Watch Company. They've been at Windups before, but this is their first time in San Francisco. They have some beautiful stuff coming out. Eugene does watches in silver cases with stone dials and different arrangements. Just really, really cool stuff. Bretta was low-key one of the most popular watches of the show. They were selling their ring watches, which I think a number of members of our team picked up. They always had a big crowd at their booth as well.
The ring watches were super cool.
Yeah.
And they had some really neat pieces for kind of a crazy, incredible, affordable price point, I would say, at the fair. And really, really neat, designs for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right, best watch spot on a guest. Anything jump out to you?
So yes, and I'm sorry because I don't remember the gentleman's name that I met, unfortunately, but I remembered his watch, which is, I guess, the important piece here. So at the Vault Auto Club meet, we met a gentleman that had a vintage Heuer. It was like an olive green chronograph. I sort of did some Googling this morning just to try to find the reference number. I think it's the 510-502 chronograph, but it was in this like green PVD and had these like bright orange accents on the hands, which was really cool. And I dig the vibe. I like a green watch, and it was in incredible condition for vintage piece. But that stood out to me as being like one of the cooler pieces I saw.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Obviously, I saw a Loco Brooklynite. An attendee had a
cool.
Brooklynite, which I thought was cool. Zach Weiss shared with me, so I didn't personally see this watch, but he showed me a photo of it, and he actually posted it to his Instagram. We'll put a link in the show notes. It's a custom Fears jump hour that was made for, I think, a local like San Francisco based watch group with an aventurine inner dial and like a blue fume like outer dial. It's really beautiful. Like it's a great combination. So I wish I had seen that in person. I didn't, but like just in a photo, that was probably like the coolest watch I saw.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always like, I mean, it's almost hard to like keep up with like the watch spotting on. It's like, because everyone's got a watch and everyone's wearing a cool watch.
I took a lot of photos. I haven't had a chance to even like back up my images yet, which I probably should need to do today. But without going back and looking, that was definitely one that stood out to me.
Also, Zach Pena, when we saw him, was wearing an Omega World Timer.
Yeah,
which was really nice. I don't think I had seen like the newer versions of those in person yet. He's got the titanium one. It's like really like kind of like it's gray and like it's really
cool.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, it is nice piece for sure.
All right, coolest vintage watch at the Watch Preserve. Did you have a chance to stop by the Watch Preserve and check it? They always have like crazy funky stuff.
Yeah, they had quite a few things. One that stood out to me that I wonder if Myra ended up buying, because I know she was on the fence about it, was they had a vintage like tag Formula One watch, which was pretty cool. And then they also had an Omega Seamaster like electric blue, which was my first like luxury watch that I ever bought for myself. And I think they had it in the quartz variant. I owned the automatic variant, but they had the quartz variant, which was for sale there. And I always love that specific reference to the Omega. The dial is incredible, and it's a sort of a one-off piece. If you're familiar with like obviously the Bond Seamaster, it's just a little bit different, a little bit more fun, I think. Those two stand out to me. I'm sure maybe I'll think of something else here in a second. I'm trying to like remember going through all their table, and they had so much.
Yeah.
What about you?
The one that sticks out to me is they had a really beautiful Nevada gold dress watch with like I think it was like a hammered, like textured case. And I don't know the type of stone that was used, but it was just like red stone.
Interesting.
That was like just incredibly beautiful. So like the red stone and this like, I think it was like a rose gold case, like heavily textured, just like a really cool like 1970s dress watch, like very much in sort of like that. So like, sort of felt like, like these like Piaget, dress watches that are like having a moment, right now from the 70s with like, very colorful stone dials and shaped cases. It had that sort of vibe.
Cool.
To it. And it was like probably like 34, maybe 35 millimeters is small, but like kind of also like the perfect size for a watch like that.
Very cool.
They also had a couple of like 1980s date jests that were in like really nice condition that were they were beautiful, both two-tone. What else? They had like a beautiful Patek Philippe dress watch.
Yeah,
little gold watch that was like pretty fairly priced. I think they wanted like $6,000 for it, which was, I don't know, it seems like a reasonable ask for a watch like that. They were doing appraisals during the show, and they showed me some watches that they bought. I won't blow up their spike. I don't know if they want me to share that, but like they took in some like really fantastic stuff.
I saw
so
one
like
piece, yeah.
If they like, I'm thinking of like one in particular, and again, I won't say it because I don't know that they would want us to share that publicly before they like list it or what have you. But yeah, like they'll have some cool stuff coming.
Definitely.
Relatively soon. So
yeah, we should have known. Would have brought some stuff.
yeah. But I thought that was interesting. Like, I mean, it speaks to the San Francisco area, like watch community. You know, that they got some cool things. You know, advertising that they were doing appraisals, which I didn't even realize. But apparently, they put out the word that they were doing appraisals on social media.
Really cool.
And people came in with
they seem like they're growing fast. They've got a nice storefront now in Texas and also, if you're in the San Francisco area, when I came in on, I don't even know what day I got there, Wednesday, I stopped by Camera West, and they have a new store in San Francisco, and they have a lot of really cool used and pre-owned and vintage pieces too.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area, you should stop by there and obviously see some camera stuff, but also watches. They're
also an authorized dealer for a bunch of brands that are in our wheelhouse. They were there this weekend supporting Squale.
Yeah.
And I missed it. They had the new 37 millimeter diver, but they sold it. They sold like the one that they brought with them.
Okay.
And so I missed out on seeing that.
I did too.
Apparently it's very good. And we'll see it eventually, but missed it over the weekend.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Did you use a Waymo this year?
I did not.
Neither did I.
No Waymo.
Last year we took a bunch of Waymos. This year we stuck to human-driven Ubers.
Yeah. But, I felt like also we were just trying to cram as many people in a car at once.
Yeah.
And I think you can like comfortably fit maybe 3 people in a Waymo. So we went with the XXL, which I didn't even know existed. I knew the XLs existed, but there's an XXL option now.
Yeah, they just send you like a big charter bus when you order an XXL. It's, no, Ubers and Lyfts ruled the weekend.
Yeah.
We saw
we saw plenty.
Plenty of Waymos. Fascinating technology. I'm still kind of still very intrigued by it.
I think I don't know, maybe my opinion has been soured a bit just because I've seen so many like terrible videos online of them not performing great. Versus like last year when I was out there, I didn't really know much about them, and it was, we had great experiences. I felt like for the most part, but I don't know. I'll get in one again eventually.
Yeah,
I've seen that they're in Nashville now. I've seen them popping around.
Yeah. No, they've expanded. Not in Concord yet. I think it'll be a while before they make it to Concord, but yeah, I find it very appealing.
Would you get in one to say like go from Concord to Boston? Maybe you're going on a flight or something.
Yeah,
to the airport.
I would. Yeah, I think I would. I mean, I think that it's like
it's a quiet ride. It's nice. You don't have to worry about chit chat.
I mean, I'm not. I don't have a fear of like an accident or something like that. I mean, that seems to be quite rare. I mean, it happens, but it happens with Ubers too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, absolutely.
All right, that's the Waymo corner of this week's podcast. Best meal that you had in San Francisco?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I had a lot of great meals, but I will say my first night, me and Nellie went out to a little seafood restaurant called Poppy's Oysterette, and we had oysters and we had seafood and calamari and chowder. We ate it up pretty good, and it was excellent. Yeah, it was it felt like a little mom and pop little seafood restaurant, and it was really good. It was really great, and price was awesome too. Yeah, it was not too expensive.
My favorite meal was the final one, the big Italian. Big team dinner that we went out to.
We've never had a big Italian dinner at the end of the fair. It was really nice.
Yeah, that was. I mean, usually we do. There's usually like an Italian night, at these shows. But I think that was like the first time we did it as like the big closing team dinner. I have to say it was very, very good. I'm not really I'm not gonna say anything bad about Italian food. It's not like my go-to though. Like I'm not
really?
like I'm not really a big pasta guy. But yeah, it was delicious, and it was like it was just a lot of fun. There were like 20 of us.
I think that's why, because we decided to look at a restaurant very last minute on Sunday afternoon, and the only place there's like 2 places we could find that could accommodate like 20 people last minute, and this was one of them, and it was fantastic. And put us in a little room and kind of had an area to ourselves. And
do you remember the name of the restaurant? I'd like to give them a shout out.
Let's see. Let's pull it up real quick.
It must be in the Slack somewhere.
Slack channel. Oh, here we go. Firenze by Night.
Yeah, they were great. Excellent service. Excellent food. Yeah, just delicious. Fantastic fantastic Italian food in San Francisco. I will say, like, definitely not in the running for best meal was In-N-Out. Every year, we make a pilgrimage, a group of us to In-N-Out. I'm always involved in that because you got to do it when you're in California.
Do you?
Or not, I guess. I just got to say, just like the most mid burger ever. I love burgers. I love the state of California.
Yeah.
And I love the people of California. But they're freaking crazy about In-N-Out, like all out of proportion. It just does not make sense. It's like the most average thing ever.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe because I was younger too, when I would go to the West Coast, whether it was to visit my dad in Phoenix or Colorado, we would go to In-N-Out and it was special, and I don't know, maybe it tasted better. But I've had it, once or twice in the last 3 or 4 years, and I just haven't really been impressed. It's just not a place. They opened one actually in my town here in Nashville or in Tennessee. So there's a couple here now, and I haven't been yet because I just I don't know. I might as well just go to Wendy's. I don't know. It's not like. I
mean, I honestly kind of prefer different. Wendy's to be honest. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we'll do a burger pod at some point and really get into it. But yeah, I had heard that there was an.
Well, and here's the thing.
That's interesting.
When I first started my very first windup, I don't even know that I was officially part of the team, but I kind of was a part of the team. I think there was an employee that got really sick that I remember that had ate that's no longer with us, and he's still alive.
Not because of In-N-Out.
Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah,
I should say. I should clarify that. But he got really sick from In-N-Out, and then last year, me and Catlin went to In-N-Out super late one night. And she got food poisoning, and terribly. And we both had a burger, and we both got milkshakes. I took a sip of my milkshake and was like, this is a little warm. I'm not going to drink the rest of this. She downed her milkshake.
She kept going.
She paid for it. And it was bad. The milkshake was bad. And so after that experience, I've not been in a hurry. But maybe it's just that location, because both ate at that specific location in Fisherman's Wharf. So
yeah, this is Fisherman's Wharf. Yeah. I mean, listen, Fisherman's Wharf. Not a place where the locals necessarily head to in San Francisco. It's sort of like the Times Square of San Francisco. I feel like it's a big tourist destination. But
I just realized I actually had Italian 3 times in San Francisco this year. I had a lot of Italian, 3 different places, but I had a lot of Italian food.
Well, there you go. I mean, listen, it's a great country with great cuisine.
Yeah. The only thing I feel like I missed out on was sushi. I usually try to have a sushi night, and I didn't this year, unfortunately.
Yeah. I went out so we went to a sushi restaurant. I did not order sushi when we went out for sushi. I went in a different direction. But yeah, listen, I mean, there's endless great. San Francisco is a great food city.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe we didn't do a Chinatown night. That's my
favorite. Yeah, mine too.
That's my favorite place to explore. Food wise in San Francisco, because they just have probably I don't know, is it controversial to say they have the best Chinatown in the country? I
would say so.
Yeah. I think it's right up there. So listen, next year we'll be back.
Next year
I'm gonna do 3 Chinatown nights, like you did 3 Italian nights. I'm gonna do lots of dumplings, lots of dim sum next year. All right, Watch of the Fair. What was the most impressive Watch of the Fair, excluding Vostok Europe, because we already mentioned them? What's the best?
For me, I don't know. I have a few, because I think there were some big releases. And obviously, I think the Sealanders from Christopher Ward, I think many people would say Watch of the Fair, super busy. People were buying them left and right. I heard a lot of good things about people seeing the Oris Star in person. Really impressed. That was a favorite among a lot of people. I did have the Breda ring watches on my list. And Astric. Astric. They are sort of like a sister brand of Xeric, and I love this zombie watch. I don't even know what the official name is. I just literally wrote zombie watch down. But they have a watch that has a zombie on the dial, and then they have like a floating disc with his arm in a balloon, and it's cute. And they have a lot of really cute stuff. So those were really fun.
Yeah. I was very impressed with the Asterisk watches as well. That was a brand that was like not super familiar to me. I had heard of them, but I hadn't spent any time with the watches. I'd never seen one in person, and I kind of like didn't. I knew that they were associated with Xerox, but like I just was not super familiar with them. So like it was really fun chatting with I forget his name, the gentleman who was manning their table. He's a very very friendly guy, and took plenty of time to kind of like walk me through everything. They do just like really clever like jump hour watches with just like really fun designs. Like it's sort of like, I guess, reductive to say like think of like Mr. Jones, but with like a slightly different vibe. But like they're creative in a similar way. And yeah, like I was very, very impressed with those watches. The other thing we should mention about Asterisk, like super affordable, like under $400. Like if they had watches there to sell, like I would have bought at least one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they were like totally. they were just super fun and like super affordable, mechanical too. These Miota movements, cool stuff. I think my favorite watch of the show is the Classico from Arsène Lupin. I very nearly bought one. I really like that watch a lot. It was also their first wind-up, I believe. Their first time at a wind-up, certainly their first time in San Francisco. Classico is I think it's like a 37.5 millimeter sort of like classic, again, it's like Calatrava style dress watch with this really like beautiful textured dial. There's a blue one and a gray one. Both really nice. I just really like the way it wore. Nice guys. Good watch. I think it's like $1,500 or so. So like pretty affordable. Really, really nice looking. I also, on my list was the Oris Star. It was good to see that watch.
I'm pretty close. I think at some point I'm going to pull the trigger on that watch for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's really good. What else? Oh, the Mad 2 Fair Edition. Cool thing that they're doing. They have like a limited edition colorway that they will sell only through events that they do. So our wind-up fairs and also like the other events that they're scheduled to do this year. And the buckle will have the airport code of the city that the show is in. So cool idea. And also like really good colorway for that watch. It's like a cobalt blue and white color. Really, really nice. Yeah. I think we mentioned all the ones that were really stuck out to me. But there's
so many.
Yeah, lots of good watches. All right. Final question. Probably the most important one.
Oh boy.
Best movie you watched on the plane, either there or on your way back.
Yeah. I can't honestly remember what I watched on the way there, so I'm going to go with what I watched on the way back. But since we had just recorded our Zodiac podcast for Time on Screen, which you should listen to if you haven't already, I was in the mood to watch more Fincher, and I watched Panic Room on the way back, and it was a fun airplane watch.
Kyle was telling me that he also was inspired to watch Panic Room because of our podcast. I like Panic Room a lot. Panic Room is one of my favorite microgenres in movies, which is the real estate thriller. I love a movie that's like centered around like a piece of real estate.
Yeah.
Like incredible. So Panic Room is up there. Rosemary's Baby is another great real estate thriller. Pacific Heights, another San Francisco movie, which I forgot to mention on our Zodiac podcast. Really great real estate thriller. Yeah. Just like I love that stuff.
Yeah, and I had forgotten that. Yeah, Jared Leto was in that movie. Dwight Yoakam, Forrest Whitaker. It's really, really like if you find that like Fincher movies they're not usually slow, but this one is like I don't know, it's pretty action packed. I would say like the whole like not action packed, but like there's a thriller element throughout the whole movie. Like it doesn't really stop. There's no really slow moments in it.
Yeah, it's not.
Which made it fun for the plane.
Yeah, no, for sure. It moves. It's very well paced. Most Fincher movies are kind of a little bit more of a slow burn, I think. Panic Room is a much more sort of like contained, like literally, like it's sort of like it's all takes place in one house basically.
But there's like these classic Fincher elements to it that directly coming out of watching Zodiac you could see, and just even like the cinematography and the way the camera follows, and I don't know. There's you can definitely get Fincher vibes when you watch it. But it was really entertaining. wish I could remember what I watched on the way out there, but maybe I'll think of it here while you're talking about yours. What was
It's strange how like our memories just like delete stuff.
Yeah.
Like when we
maybe it
watch
wasn't
these movies
important,
on the
obviously.
plane. Yeah. So on the flight out, I had a technical difficulty with my screen wasn't working. So like I wasn't able to watch anything on the way out, which was fine. I killed a bunch of podcasts and that was fine. But on the way back, I watched a couple of things, and the best thing I watched was a documentary on Marc Maron called "Are We Good?" Which is just like sort of like a extended profile of Marc Maron, great comedian and podcaster, and it sort of follows him from it covers his entire career, but like really focuses on like COVID and just after COVID. Of course, he has his partner Lynn Shelton passed away during COVID, not from COVID, but so it's sort of like it kind of dives into like the grief process and like his like the comedy that like comes out of that, and like getting his like what his career looks like after both lockdown, COVID, and losing someone close to him and getting sober. It's a really, really good portrait of a one of my favorite comedians.
Yeah.
So if you're a Marc Maron fan at all, I highly recommend that. I also watched, this was not as good, but just kind of like a fun like time killer documentary. I watched this documentary on the Counting Crows, the band from the like the 90s, like very kind of like crucial, like early 90s, very popular band, and it basically covers like the first 2 Counting Crows albums. It's part of the HBO Music Box series of documentaries, which are like mostly okay. Like they're not like hard hitting documentaries. Most of them are like produced by the artists and involved, so like you don't get a ton of like they're not like exposés or anything. But it has an extended interview with Adam Duritz, who we can all remember what he looked like, with the dreadlocks in the in the 90s, and he no longer has the dreadlocks, and it just unrecognizable. Yeah, he looks great, but like just very totally different person. So I just thought that was notable, and they spent a lot of time on like the dreadlocks in the documentary and like kind of explaining them. So I won't spoil that for anyone, but it was a fun diversion. And then the plane landed and I hurried home as fast as I could. So, that's that.
I remembered one thing that I watched at least on the way out there was I finally was able to watch the finale of DTF St. Louis, which I'd missed because I think it was
Watches and Wonders.
During Watches and Wonders, and I got back and just forgot about it and didn't have time. So yeah, I'd watched that, and it was a nice ending to the show. Yeah.
So I attempted to watch that because I had been keeping up with it, even though I don't think I really liked the show all that much. Yeah. Like I just sort of like I found it's one of these shows that was sort of like compulsively watchable. Like I just kept going, even though I wasn't sure about it. And I definitely like fell asleep like during my attempt at watching the finale. So I need to like rewatch that. But it gets your seal of approval. You liked it?
I think it was a good ending. I will say, like, similar to you, it's not like my favorite show. I think when I first started it, there was maybe 2 or 3 episodes that had already been released. So I was able to sort of mini binge it. And I think the show is, if you haven't watched it, now is a good time to watch all of them together. Because, when I went weeks without it, I didn't really miss it. And I just watched it for the sake of just finishing it because I only had the 1 episode. But it's kind of like, if you don't watch it all in one setting, you're not missing much. But if you can watch it back to back, I feel like it's a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, I also don't feel like I need to like, I tried to watch the end of the season and like sort of like missed it because I just dozed off, and like I haven't felt compelled to like go back. And check it out, but I will at some point because like I invested like 6 hours or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta finish it up.
I need to
finish the chapter. But yeah, David Harbour, I think like standout performance in that show for sure, and I thought I did a really great job.
Yeah. Kat, thank you for joining me for our Windup San Francisco wrap up pod. Great to catch up with you and digest the show. If anyone out there went to San Francisco and would like to respond to any of our rapid fire questions, like get in the comments and let us know. Favorite Sealander, favorite first time Windup brand,
favorite food,
I'll
write those down for next time.
Let us know what you liked, and if you didn't make it to the show, I hope we see you in San Francisco or New York or at another event at some point in the future.
We'll be in Chicago next, mid-July, we have a brand new venue this year, which is exciting. There's windows, which I've seen, which is exciting. We were windowless before in the building we were previously at, but no, I'm really excited. I think it's really nice, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's really nice to have the small, like we start in Dallas, which is a little bit of a smaller show, than San Francisco. Honestly, it's like, I mean, it's not too dissimilar to New York. There's a few less brands, but equally, I think, as busy. And then we have like the smaller show in Chicago, which again is like, it's kind of nice to have the smaller fairs really in between the big ones. But I'm really looking forward to going to Chicago, and I'm going to be road tripping up this year again, which is fun.
I'm very jealous of your ability to road trip it to a Windup.
I think I'm going to road trip to Dallas next year too.
Yeah. I mean, if you can, you should, avoiding air travel in America in 2026 is the right decision. I have to say, it's rough out there.
Shout out to Nick at Ad Patina, because he drove a long, long way from Chicago all the way to San Francisco.
He drove from Chicago to San Francisco?
Yeah, wow. He drove this year. I mean, I think on the way back he was going to stop and he's going to go fishing and sightsee a little bit, but that's and solo at that. That's quite a long drive.
Did he drive to Dallas also? I think he did.
He did. Yeah.
That's a John Madden level, commitment to avoiding planes, but I admire it.
Yeah, for sure.
Road trip is a great thing. All right, Kat, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, and thank you to everyone for listening. We always appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another episode of the One Around podcast. Until then, take care.